Okay, this is much better. Now we're going to be taking a look at my Nintendo DS and 3DS games. I don't have a lot, but the ones that I have are quite potent games. My copy of 358 over 2 days is currently MIA, and I don't have a copy of Coded because that game is an abortion. So with those games aside, let's take a look at some of the games that I do have. And we might as well knock the one lame duck out first. That, of course, being the one that doesn't have anything that's like the others. Also Yu-Gi-Oh, but we're not worried about that. This is Kid Icarus Uprising. I do not have a disc for this because it did not come with a case for this because it did not come with a case when I ordered it. Long story short, Kid Icarus Uprising is one of the greatest video games that has ever been made. I know you might be thinking that I'm saying that a lot, but you know what? I don't care. This game is amazing. It's got great character, great gameplay, incredible music. The fact that this was this next Kid Icarus game after the original is amazing, considering how much I don't really care for the original. Simply put, one of the best games I've ever played, period. End of discussion. The next one that has one thing that's not like the other, Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Troubadour. Now, one of the things that's interesting about Nightmare Troubadour is the fact that it's more of an RPG instead of just like a regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. It's an RPG in terms of your opponent starts to become more difficult the higher you level up, as well as getting more access to better and stronger cards. Of course, this is a Game Sharked the crap out of copy of Nightmare Troubadour, where I have a copy of pretty much every card in the game. I think the only card I don't have a copy of that's available in this game is Spell Shattering Arrow. And honestly, I don't really think I'm missing much on that because all that does is just blow up or destroy spell cards on your opponent's side of the field and inflict life point damage equal to the amount you destroyed times 500. So it's not that bad. It's just weird. And not for nothing, this game cheats too. Like, I'm at the point in this game right now in my current playthrough because I don't want to start a new game and lose all the brokenness of the game. The jailbrokenness of the game, pretty much. I'm at the point where you're fighting the Big Five and Noah in the cyber world, or whatever the hell it is. And they just cheat to no end. Like, I swear, one of the freaking Big Five has 5 copies of one card in his deck. Because I kept destroying it and it kept coming back. And it was just flipping ridiculous. Whatever. Next up is Mario Kart DS, one of the most complete and fun Mario Kart games of them all, and one of my personal all-time favorites because of just how much you can do in it. There's mission mode, there's battle mode, there's obviously the regular modes in Mario Kart, like racing and time trials, and it's just a huge selection of fun courses. And, of course, Waluigi Pinball is the greatest course ever, so, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Next up, we have my 5 Pokemon games for the DS. And we'll start with Pokemon Diamond because I don't play this one at all. In fact, the only reason I have this is because, well, it's the only game that I had left that both JD and I played the crap out of. I had Diamond, he had Pearl. And unfortunately, I just haven't played it in a long time, and when I picked it up to play it again after JD passed, it was weird. I gotta say. I mean, I did not like what I saw. It was a little too emotional for me, if you will. But nevertheless, it's a fun little playthrough through the Sinnoh region that was obviously outdone by Pokemon Platinum. Pokemon Platinum, what do I have to say about this? It's the ultimate take on the Sinnoh region. It's a pain in the ass in some regards. It's a really fun game in other regards. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Move along. Move along. Move along. Next, we have the next set of brother-sister Pokemon games, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The remakes of the Johto games, as one would expect. These are the total and complete packages. The best Pokemon games on the DS by far, and some of the best of all time, at least if you ask me. This Pokemon Soul Silver cartridge has all of the Pokemon, for the most part, that I've ever had. I've transferred everybody from my Game Boys and my DS on, and I have pretty much every Pokemon that I've ever used, outside of the ones I used on the emulators, I've used in this. That includes Pokemon that I've caught in XD Gale of Darkness, and some special bonus Pokemon that I've gotten in trades. Obviously, every Pokemon from Gen 4 to Gen 3 that I've caught, for the most part, is in here. This Pokemon Heart Gold copy, on the other hand, is one that I'm playing right now, where I'm doing a run where I'm trying to build a very strong competitive team that I can use for a Let's Play in Battle Revolution, which we'll get to I'd say at some point, but it's looking more like eventually. And I'm using a bunch of Pokemon that I don't ordinarily use. I've been using Full Swipe Gaming for tips on how to build a team and who to use in Gen 4. Also, as well as some Pokemon that I just don't ordinarily use. So right now, I have a very weird team. Right now, I have a Poliwhirl, a Venomoth, an Arcanine, a Togetic, and what are the other two Pokemon that I have? I can't think of the other two immediately, or right off the tip of my tongue. But those are the 4 Pokemon that I have right now that I'm using, and I know I'm probably going to end up using in competitive in some way, shape, or form. I just know that I can't really afford to mess up, because if I play Battle Revolution and I build this whole team and then get my ass kicked in one round, it won't really have been worth it. So I have to really strategize and think, instead of just building an all-out offensive team to win. So it's kind of unique in those regards. Last but not least of the regular DS games is Pokemon Black version 2, which is the sequel to Pokemon Black and White. This game I was playing for a bit once this whole virus thing broke out, but I haven't played it in like months. Mostly because I just haven't played my DS in months. I've been home for a lot, so I haven't really been able to break out and do anything special, you know? Go away. I'm not interested. My phone keeps sending me things like, oh, get your backup started on your phone. I'm like, I don't care. Move along. I like Black and White 2 better than I like the original Black and White. Maybe it's because of the addition of other Pokemon instead of just the Unova ones. Maybe it's because I like the gyms better. I don't know. Long story short, though, I like this version better than I like the originals. And it's a shame I never got to LP Black or White 2, because, well, it would have been fun. And it would have been fun to have a playthrough I can be uploading alongside my work on Birth by Sleep. But, hey, what you gonna do? Now, on to my other 3DS games. All of these that I have cases to them. In fact, let's rearrange these so we can save those for last. There you go. That's better. That's better. And we're going to start with Mario Party, the Top 100. Now, this is not your typical Mario Party game. This is the top 100 Mario Party games, mini-games of all time, in the opinions of the people who made the game, in one game. in one game. So you have Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all wrapped into one. It also has its own game board that is more or less in line with Super Mario Parties, with a few more added gimmicks. For the most part, this is just there to play the minigame specifically. And I do appreciate the game for that. My top moment in this is I have 29 out of 30 balls hit in Dinger Derby in this game. I still can't hit that last one, and it bugs me. Or I can't hit all 30, and it bugs me. Show you the the little case all wedged in there. I don't usually keep the boxes for the 3DS, but these are the 4 that I managed to keep. And one of the big things with this one is the fact that I usually take the cartridges with me when I go to the laundromat because I play this while my clothes are getting washed. And along with that, I'm also doing Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which a lot of people, when this was first announced, thought that this was going to be Kingdom Hearts 3. Of course it wasn't, because this game literally answered 0 questions and only made way too many more. And this was basically the point where a lot of people said Kingdom Hearts jumped the shark. Where the game went from being a fun action RPG with Disney elements and Final Fantasy elements to being a ridiculous mess. And part of me has to agree. It just gets way too crazy at this point. Which is why I'm actually not looking forward to LPing this as much as people would want me to. I'm going to, of course, but I'm just not looking forward to this. My TV is, apparently, since this is all it wants to play. Last but not least are the last brother and sister Pokemon games. Just kidding. These are the last brother and sister Pokemon games for this particular segment because we haven't gotten to the Switch yet. These are Pokemon X and Y. These are playthroughs of, well, these are games that take you through the Kalos region. Symbolized in X and Y. The anime, and of course XYZ. Poor Serena, she could have done so much better than frickin' Ash. But she's in love, and what are you going to do when the baby's in love? There aren't particularly many differences, as one would expect, between the brother-sister Pokemon games. The only real thing that stands out in terms of difference is, like I said, for the most part, just the type of Pokemon they have. In terms of the particular cartridges, X has the one and only gift Pokemon I've ever gotten. Or before Sword and Shield, where they're giving them out like candy. This is the only time where I have a Pokemon where I have a Pokemon thing where I have a gift Pokemon. That being, I have Meloetta in this game. In fact, I'm really hesitant to replay this game again because I want to keep that save file, so I'm going to end up having to get another copy of Pokemon X if I ever want to play it. And I'm kind of hoping the rumor that that Pokemon collection gets released for the Pokemon collection gets released for the Switch, where one of them has X, Omega Ruby, and Sun, and the other one's Alpha Sapphire, Moon, and that, because Mega Charizard X is one of my favorite Pokemon. And I can't really use him in Y because you only get access to Mega Charizard Y in this game. But I do have one of my favorite teams of all time in this one. So, we'll just have to wait and see. That was my DS and 3DS games. Stay tuned for the next part. I don't even know what the hell we're going to go next. I think we kind of don't have a choice. We're going to have to look at either the PS2. Yeah, no, we'll do the PS2. We're going to take a look at my PlayStation 2 games and technically some PS1 games sprinkled in there. Stay classy, YouTube.